Good morning. It's so wonderful to see you all in place and cyberspace. Our invocation this morning is an offering by Leslie Takahashi. She adapted an ancient Rumi poem. Come, come, whoever you are. Come with your hurts, your imperfections, your places that feel raw and exposed. Come, come, whoever you are. Come with your strengths that the world shudders to hold. Come with your wild imaginings of a better world. Come with your hopes that it seems no one wants to hear. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, we will make a place for you. We will build a home together. Ours is no caravan of despair. We walk together. Come, yet again come. And let's sing together hymn number 4, I Bring My Spirit to the Sea. Please keep your masks on as you are singing, if you have them, and please rise as you are able in body and spirit.
Good morning and welcome to First Parish. My name is Chris Clifford and I'm a member of the worship committee. Anyone having trouble hearing me? Better? And anybody also out in the ether, just let a message and we will make sure we turn up the volume for the Zoom portion. We're so glad that you've chosen to be here with us this morning or to join us virtually. However your journey, whatever your heritage, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Your presence here on Sunday morning enriches worship for each and every one. This sanctuary is made holy by your presence. If you're joining us for the first time, a special welcome. You will find information about First Parish in your pew. One of the greeters or I would be happy to answer questions you might have. And any of us would welcome the opportunity to walk with you to social hour. However, due to Zoom, we are not having social hour today, but my friend and longtime acquaintance, Beth Gray-Nix, who was ushering this morning and brought in these lovely flowers, who is sitting in the back, would be happy to answer questions, and I will also be happy to answer any questions about First Parish Milton. The work of living our faith is done both in and out of worship. So I call your attention to the printed announcements that came with your order of worship or found in your email link. In particular, there are a couple of items to note. Due to illness, Grace Allendorf will not be singing this morning. Instead, we are very grateful and happy to welcome a very last-minute replacement, violinist Betsy Hinkle, who will play during the offering and postlude. Betsy and our guest vocalist this morning, Vanessa Nogdi, will be offering music by two of the most prominent African-American female composers of the 20th century, Margaret Bonds and Florence Pierce. We thank both Betsy and Vanessa for being part of worship today. Now, we have a listening circle scheduled today to discuss the adoption of the eighth principle. It was scheduled to happen in the parlor. However, due to COVID, it is going to be moved to a virtual meeting. We'll see, hopefully by the end of the service, I will be able to have a Zoom link available for folks, and we would hope you would join us. There are a number of other sessions scheduled throughout the year or the coming months, and they are listed in your order of worship. Finally, sad announcement for me to make, in that one of my friends for a very long time passed away recently, Chris Pitt. But we will have visiting hours on Tuesday, January 10th from 3:30 to 6:30. And then a celebration of Chris's life will be held at 1:30 on Wednesday, January 11th. Both of these events take place right here at First Parish. Now, let us take a few moments to greet one another and extend a warm welcome to old friends and new. Of course, staying in our seats to be COVID safe, please. Folks on Zoom, please turn on your video and go to gallery view so you can say hello to one another and see
Good morning.
who's zooming in today.
Good morning.
Like that sun on your face, Carl.
One other thing.
I know,
please
huh?
make sure your cell
Morning,
phones
people.
are silenced.
Good
Morning.
I had a hunch there'd be a crowd here today.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice to
Good
see you.
morning, everyone.
good to see everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, India.
Hello,
Nice to see you.
you too.
Cynthia, everyone.
Hi.
You've got some
Happy New
sunshine.
Year.
Yeah, I got an olive tree right in front of me, and it's gonna look like a zebra or something.
Nice.
It looks nice.
All right, going back. See you guys later.
Okay.
Now is a moment when we can focus on being here, when we can choose to connect with ourselves and the divine, when we can choose to just be present. Chalice lighting. Jonathan, would you come up and light the chalice for me? Thank you very much. Each Sunday, we light the chalice as a reminder that even in an increasingly unpredictable and dangerous world, the flame continues to shine, a corner of warmth and awareness where we, the members of this faith community, can find comfort, support, and connection to one another. Now, please join me in saying the call to worship in your order of worship. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We come to speak spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together, we work to build a world with justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together.
So, For years, I have been doing different forms of Qigong. And what Qigong means is Qi is life energy and Gong means work. So it's the work of Qi. And that's an umbrella of different forms of movement. Tai Chi is probably the one that you've heard the most of, which is about also a way to move Qi. And actually, I do a morning Qigong, but I'm going to show you a bit of a form. It's the Wu style form that I learned last year. Took a whole year to learn on Zoom. And I'm just going to show you a little to see what Tai Chi is like. And so this is just the Wu style. And the thing about the Wu style short form is that it's kind of a gentle style for those of us that aren't advanced. So the thing about Tai Chi is its movements, and Tai Chi is thousands of years old, that parallel different things that people have seen in nature. Because the point of Qi is to balance your body, to have a harmony of body. And it's for nutrition, and it's for ways to feel healthy, it's for your immune system, and it's also a kind of meditation. Now, I have a confession to make. Sitting meditation, when I first heard about it, I couldn't think that I could ever sit still that long. So when I found Tai Chi, it was this wonderful way to be meditative about being and breathing. Etc. Now, the thing about Tai Chi is also there are forms that are, some of the forms I just showed you are also forms that can be used in martial arts. And what martial arts is working with our energy to figure out the best way for martial arts is to never be in a fight, basically. You figure out a way to avoid fighting, but it's also a way to be able to defend yourself if you have to, by assessing the energy of the body of your assailant. So just to have a feeling about what Qi is I just invite you to sort of put your hands together a little bit, however you want, but just hold them together. And you can feel your body warmth probably, right? Can you feel the kind of warmth in between your hands? And then if you just let the hands go out a little bit, can you still feel that warmth? That little ball of fire in there. That's your energy talking to itself. And then if you open up your hands a little, do you feel energy moving through your fingers and your hands? Isn't that cool? So there are a lot of practices to help us so that our energy can flow through our bodies for harmony and for health. And it's based on nature, the universe, because the universe is a huge, huge phenomenon of balance and harmony. And we have that wisdom in us. So the phrase nourish Qi, which I'm going to talk about today, which is often used, there's one Qigong that ends here. In the morning I do this, and it, sort of nourish Qi, where you think about the middle, which is called the Dantian, where this is one of the major areas where sort of energy can flow from. So our bodies are really very cool. And we have ways to move them for our health. So why don't we sing the children to their class? They're going to be learning about turtles this morning from an Ecotarian. Now is a time in our program for us to sit with stillness together. And the thing about stillness is it doesn't have to be silent. Stillness is just to be in the presence of the room. And since we just talked about the energy, obviously you can definitely feel your breath run through, and feel free to do that. But see if you can feel the energy of your body in this stillness, just working itself, doing all those systems. Let's just be still for a bit together.
This morning's reading is an excerpt from Our Living Universe by Dwayne Elgin. I believe that the most far-reaching trend of our times is an emerging shift in our shared view of the universe. From thinking of it as a dead thing to experiencing it as alive. In regarding the universe as alive and ourselves as continuously sustained within that universe, we see that we are intimately related to everything that exists. This insight that we are cousins to everything that exists in a living, continuously regenerated universe represents a new way of looking at and relating to the world, and overcomes the profound separation that has marked our lives. From the combined wisdom of science and spirituality is emerging an understanding that could provide the perceptual foundation for the diverse people of the world to come together in the shared enterprise of building a sustainable and meaningful future.
Wow, I could see it shine, man. My writing day this week, which falls on Friday, was January 6th, the second anniversary of the riot on Capitol Hill, a time when a mob got swept up in the energy of the moment, fueled by ideology and intentions of malice by some. What we witnessed, among many other things, was the force of energy, motivating action, riling up intention, dictating will of agency. There's a line in a Robert Frost poem, Choose Something Like a Star, which goes, for when at times the mob is swayed to carry praise or blame too far, we may choose something like a star to stay our minds on and be stayed. Being swayed by a mob, we can enter into a trance, a synergy, and lose our sense of choice in action. For when at times the mob is swayed to carry praise or blame too far. Capitol Police Officer Aquilino Gonell described the groundswell of the invasion. What we were subjected to that day, he said, was like something from a medieval battlefield. We fought hand to hand and inch by inch to prevent an invasion of the Capitol by a violent mob. A common rallying point to influence collective action is the phrase, we're all in this together. That reality has with it a responsibility to heal or to harm, to help or hinder, to lift up or tear down. We're all in this together. So much of how we're connected cannot be fully seen. So much of how we affect one another cannot be fully known. But we can direct our intentions. We can affect flow. We can be humble about the power of our being. Dwayne Elgin, educator and activist, comes to the understanding of this connection by perceiving the aliveness of the cosmos. As the reading this morning in regarding the universe as alive and ourselves as continuously sustained within that aliveness, we see that we are intimately related to everything that exists. Now, mystics and metaphysicians throughout the centuries have known this connection. Unitarian transcendentalist mystic Ralph Waldo Emerson described this connection as the source of nature that flows through us and within us. He wrote that the source is the soul of the whole, the wise silence, the universal beauty, to which every part and particle is equally related, the eternal one. When it breaks through our intellect, it is genius. When it breathes through our will, it is virtue. When it flows through our affections, it is love. This energy that we were born with, this flow of the universe that is within us, in our life, is neutral. We're given the opportunity to navigate our shared being and come to the harmony of aliveness. And as we know, it can also bring destruction. The concept of qi originates in ancient Chinese philosophy and medicine dating more than 5,000 years ago. The understanding is fashioned in observing nature, the laws and patterns that govern the harmony of the cosmos. These laws and patterns also govern the health of the human body and humanity, the group body. We are, after all, originally stardust of the cosmos, right? The human body, indeed all being, is a microcosm of the universal macrocosm. We each have within us the intuition of the harmony of the universe. Cosmic consciousness, the unity consciousness, is a feeling consciousness, often described as love or the I-thou of God, beloved or Tao, many, many approximate names of something that cannot be fully named. Qi is often translated as life energy, life force, or flow, that which animates all of existence. When in flow, it is ever renewable. So much of Qi work, or nourishing Qi, is about enabling flow, releasing obstacles, anything that might block harmonious functioning or balance of being. Blocks can be tensions, injuries, food that doesn't agree with our bodies, thoughts, ideas, fears that distract us from ease. These create actual tension, actual blocks to the flow of the health of our being. A Chinese proverb. A woman went to a wise one who knew the ways of medicine, herbs, and mystical cures. The woman came with much money, visibly disturbed, heavy laden with a deep fury inside. "I have a sister whom I hate," she told the wise one. "She's ruining my life. I want to get rid of her. Can you help me?" The wise woman studied her client for a moment and then answered, "Yes, I have just the thing." She took some massage oil off the shelf and mixed it with a scented oil. She gave the client the mixture. "This is a slow-acting poison. You must give your sister an hour-long massage 3 times a week for 6 months. The poison will set in slowly, and by the end of this treatment, the sister whom you hate will be gone." The next day, the woman began using the poison on her sister, who, though surprised at such a gesture of generosity, wholeheartedly accepted free massages. At first, the hated sister talked incessantly throughout the massage, irritating the woman to no end. What kept the woman going was the knowledge that the poison was taking effect and she would be rid of this pain in her life, this sister who was blocking her happiness. As the weeks progressed, the sister became calmer, the conversations less frequent, the interchange more intimate, without pretense. And while the woman noticed this marked change in her sister, knowing that the poison was, I guess, weakening her, she began to feel an affection for her sister, even a friendship that she never knew was possible. She began to look forward to their time together, not to increase the collective poison, but to share the hour together. By 5 months, the woman became very anxious. She realized that not only was her hatred gone, but she now wanted her sister to live. She returned to the wise woman with only 2 weeks to go, panic-stricken that it was too late and her sister would die. The wise one heard her story and plea for an antidote. "I have no antidote for you," the wise one said. "You do not need one. The poison destroyed your hatred and your blame. You are cured. You are rid of this pain in your life. Go home and celebrate your new freedom." Nourish Qi. Each life is unique. Each life bears its testimony of creation, its response to the gifts given and the lessons learned in our relating to one another. We each have something to say and something to share. We are each connected in ways that we cannot fully know, to each other, to the cosmos, and within ourselves. There is a flow that we can nourish. Unitarian Universalism is an optimistic faith in the potential of humankind. We recognized shared wisdom through relationship. This is a gift of our species, creating and recreating bonds with ourselves, the earth, and the cosmos. We have the capability to be aware of the beauty in the world and to engage it, to praise the dignity of life known deep in our hearts and to activate it in our lives. Unitarian Universalist communities, by virtue of the sharing of our lives, build the courage to have faith, to believe in lasting love of life and abundant goodwill. And we can call each other to account at times as well, dismantling the obstacles of judgment and injustice that prevent mutual, equitable aliveness. Ultimate answers are beyond individual reach and must be discovered in dialogue, in experience, in in-breaking revelation. Congregations can model that which is wished in the world. They're laboratories of human potential. It's the place where we can practice peace and pass it on, where the bonds of love can be known through our care and wonder, a place where we can work to find the justice and compassion we want in our lives and live it in our days. And our worship services? By the opening of our hearts and the welcoming of spirit, we have the opportunity to nourish chi. Dwayne Elgin again. After 4 billion years of evolution, we stand upon the earth as agents of self-reflective and creative action on behalf of the universe. We see that we are participants in an unceasing miracle of creation. Let me counter the image of the January 6th mob with a remembrance of transformative harmony. Mahatma Gandhi, leader of the Indian independence movement in the 20th century, which deeply inspired the nonviolent movement of the civil rights era in the United States, believed in the concept satyagraha, which means holding on to truth or truth force. He also used this term to mean soul force or love force, the positive, active engagement of love. Satyagraha means truth against cunning, writes Gandhi, nonviolence against violence, forbearance against anger, and love against hatred. Gandhi realized that if he allowed by action or inaction for systems of destruction and oppression to go unchallenged, he was not honoring satyagraha. Deliberate non-cooperation with harmful acts, looking at the blocks, was essential to the furtherance of the development of peace and goodwill. Gandhi was inspired in part by another Unitarian transcendentalist, Henry David Thoreau, in his writing, Civil Disobedience. Thoreau wrote of defying systems of oppression with the collective energy of non-compliance. We are all in this together. Mystics, social justice advocates, metaphysicians remind us that our connections influence the flow of being and must be nourished for vibrant aliveness, our birthright knowing, the inherent dignity in this interdependent web of existence. So may it be. Amen. Let's sing hymn number 1007 in the blue hymnal, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. Please be seated. Let's join our hearts in the spirit of prayer. Mysterious presence, love, energy, divinity. You're known by many names. You're called out in many ways. Come to our understanding. Come to our awareness. Help us feel the flow of being in our lives, in our breath and wind, in rivers and blood. Help us feel the strength of our love, the power of our hope, the insistence of our dignity. Help us cry out for help when we need to, and to reach out when others are in need. May we hold those who are suffering from the ravages of war right now in the world. From the despair of oppression and systems that keep us down in the world. And may we lift up every moment of hope, every insistence on joy, to give us a whole that can navigate it all. Our local prayers reach out to the Pitt family and the Pincus family on recent deaths of loved ones. And for all the prayers lifted up but unspoken, may we hold them in love. Amen.
Today's offering will be given to Courageous Conversations Toward Racial Justice. Courageous Conversations Toward Racial Justice is a monthly series of dialogue-centered programs on racism and privilege designed to address racial healing and justice in our community. Our speaker this morning is Grace Groshi-Horan, Senior Director of the United Way DIE Priorities.
Good morning. I'm Karen Gross-Horan, and I'm one of the founders of Courageous Conversations, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be asked to be in this wonderful space in Parish to share a little bit about what we do and why we do it. I feel like I'm coming to a best friend's home when I come to First Parish. I've already had tears here today, and this is not my home parish, but I tell you, I'm always moved by the space, I'm moved by the messages, and it's why we stand in such great partnership with First Parish, and Reverend Lisa and Deb Alsabai, Pat Neves, and now Jim May we're inviting to our leadership team. So thank you for having me come to your wonderful home. I feel like I'm with very close friends. So at United Way, someone asked me, and they asked to everyone in an icebreaker, like, what is your superpower? And I said, and I'm very humble. I'm not braggadocious. I don't, talk highly of myself. I'm very uncomfortable in that. And I'm like, I don't know, superpower? Like, what am I great at? That's really uncomfortable. And they said, no, what is it that you love to do that really brings your mission to what you want to do in the world? And I was like, all right, that's a better way to look at it. And the word that came to mind was collaborator. And collaboration is my superpower. And I feel like it's what kind of was the seed that helped to found and grow Courageous Conversations. Because the work that we do is about using our platform to lift up and amplify the voices around us to build community and to do the work of eradicating the harms of systemic racism. So to do this work, it requires partnership, it requires collaboration and impact that we can make with lead partners like First Parish and other Milton churches. The work that we've done this last year has allowed us to partner with a Milton filmmaker who's an African woman who is raising a family here in Milton. So an African-American woman and a powerful film that she made around Black teens in an urban setting. Women from Mass General Hospital were talking about hair and the growth of natural hair and how it was necessary to write a law in Massachusetts and in the country to speak against the discrimination that Black women feel when they wear their hair naturally in the workplace. We've partnered with Forbes House Museum this year, Eustis Estate, where we had a wonderful Juneteenth event, Milton for Peace, where we hold rallies and where we come together to commemorate the terrible beginning of the summer of 2020. We work with Celebrate Milton. We've worked with a BU grad student who I met, and she brought to our space musicians from Africa that she'd worked with. So our space that we hold together each month is so powerful with local community, and now we've spread so much more widely. We've worked with the Milton Public Schools and the Milton youth that are advocating for change, who want to speak out on racism and how it's impacted their lives. So that's just a little bit of the work we do, but we couldn't do it without you all, the churches in Milton, and several grants that we do apply for. We do pay people that work with us on our monthly events, and we are doing a service project this month on Martin Luther King Day to build some support resources for people that are unhoused or suffer from housing instability in Boston. So these are the things that our money goes to support. We are all volunteers, and boy, we put in a lot of time that we love. But it's about time, it's about talent, and it's about treasure. And we hope that you'll share in our work in whatever way feels right for you, if that's time, if that's talent, or if that's treasure. Thank you.
How to give. You can simply text 617-539-7576 with the amount you'd like to give. Don't add words, simply put in the amount, and you will get an automatic text message back asking you to do a one-time setup. The number should be appearing on your screen for the folks joining us via Zoom. There should also be a plate in the front of the church if you'd like to leave something in that. dedication, may these gifts be transformed into strength for this faith community, into comfort, food, and shelter for those in need, and may we be transformed by generosity.
Let us sing together our final hymn, 1057, Go Lift It Up. Let's sing it through twice. It's short and lovely, and we'll practice it first, and then we'll sing it out. In extinguishing the chalice of our faith, may the flame of our faith burn deep and wide within us. May we bring our choices to everything we do, be glad in our being, and touch others with our sense of peace and love. Have a good week. Amen.
Hey,
Hey, Carl.
hey, India, how are you?
Keeping on, keeping on. How are you?
Good, good. I asked to stay on, so